have there been, some struggles that you didn't anticipate?
I think at boot camp was probably the biggest struggle. I realized I had a really bad fear of heights going into boot camp. One of those things when we had to rappel off a 40-foot tower, however big it was one of those things that when I saw it, I almost started to hyperventilate. But one of the things that I was to quickly overcome. So that was one of the major challenges when it come to boot camp. And I also think as I moved into my first band and I got onto my second band, we did a lot more field work. And then the prospects of deployment, that was one of the challenges, having to possibly say goodbye to family and go on deployment across the ocean. That was the two main challenges, I think, that come to mind at this point.
You must have a pretty strong wife now for 17 years.
Well,
just endured your travel schedule.
We were the best of friends in high school, and then we both went our separate ways. And after I had come back from deployment, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, we decided that we were going to get married. I tried to talk her out of it. Well, actually, I went over what she was going to be getting into, and she was all for it. It's been fantastic. She supports everything I do, and I can't thank her enough.
Pretty awesome. And you've got two sons, 12 and 14.
I do.
Are musicians?
They're musicians right now for the hang. They're both great students, but they're in the band to hang out. They will work hard. They're doing well in band, but musicians probably till the end of middle school, and that will probably be it for them.
Speaking of hanging out, you spent some time with some other bands outside the Marine Corps. Have you also been able to play with other bands, kind of exploring other areas of music?
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that. Playing outside the Marine Corps is fairly simple. A lot of people, when they come in, there's a misconception that, you're playing for the military, you can't play out in town. That's not true. During my time in, the Marine Corps set me up very well with the music that we play inside the Marine Corps to play outside the Marine Corps. So I get to do a lot of brass quintet music, a lot of church music, weddings. Get to play with some rock and roll bands, one of which was a band called Right On, that if anyone watched Fox News, not this past New Year's, but 2009, New Year's Eve, 2008 going into 2009, they were the house band for Fox News. And they're still playing to this day. I've had a lot of experience doing a lot of different types of music, and have plenty of time on the outside to go travel and play with other groups as well.
And you said there was actually your time in the Marine Band that really enabled you to be able to play across the spectrum like that. What different types of music are you playing in the band?
Well, the gamut of music that we play is very wide. Obviously, Marines are known for their precision marching, and we do ceremonial music and marching parades, but we also do some concert band literature, standard concert band repertoire, and we do commission some works at some point. We do like to break out into rock and roll. We break out into some jazz, big band, traditional big band from the 30s and 40s. Also Dixieland too from the 20s, so we'll break that down even smaller into a Dixieland band, and we'll play music from the 20s. It's endless. The brass quintets will play anything from the Canadian Brass to the Dallas Brass or Preservation Hall Jazz Band as well. So the small groups will get down, get funky, get crazy, and get busy.
What types of events can you guys play at? Obviously, we've seen the big marching band and the big audiences, but are there more intimate settings or more unusual venues that we might not normally associate with a Marine or a military band that you found yourself in?
We love to go out into small towns, big cities, the venues where we can get really personal with people. On one gig that comes to mind is Clio, Michigan. We go up and play in an amphitheater up there with the Marine Band out of Cherry Point. We did that for about 5 years straight. And the amphitheater seats about 2,000, and they do everything they can, and it's filled to capacity every year. And the welcoming that we get from them is just, it's awesome. I think the small town or the bigger towns where we can become actual, and really have a good involvement with our audience, I think that's, where I like to play the best. But to get out there again with the crowds, it gives us a chance to let everybody know that we're real people. That's how I want to come across when we get out to these events that are in the Midwest or wherever it is. We can break down and throw down with the rest of the people as well.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming out and showing that side of the Marine Corps for us. And on our site with this webcast, we'll include a link to where folks can actually get in and request band support for their events coming up.